Yo, what up? What up? What up? Big Ant, Big Chase. Um, it wasn't what I thought it was. I'll put it that way. I can't really get into it, but it wasn't what I thought it was. Everything's all good. It wasn't. It's all good. So it wasn't what I thought it was in a good way. But shit was stressful. Yeah, I hate Connecticut, man. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Second, second I close out my business affairs, I'm out. We're going back to NYC or like Westchester or something. I would like to go to Queens personally, man. That's my roots. Well, Manhattan's where I grew up, but Queens is where my father grew up. I used to go there all the time. That's the roots. Certain parts of Queens. Shit. Go to like Bayside or some shit. Or like, I don't know. We'll see. I'll tell you one thing, Bob. I ain't going to no goddamn South Jersey. Fuck that. Florida. Nah. Maybe at some point. Right now, I don't think it's time yet. What? There was, I ain't going no damn Jersey. Get out of here. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know much about Jersey, but I'd rather go there than fucking Connecticut. Connecticut's mad whack. I still got New York insurance. Like, we still got to go to New York for like doctor's visits and shit. Houses are too expensive here. Don't come. My neighbor is selling his house for $500K. That's expensive. I bought my first condo for that much in Brooklyn back in 2015, 14, 15, 2015. That's what I spent on a 2-bedroom, like 900,000 square foot apartment. And that was cheap, considered cheap. Like you couldn't get anything for like under 7 back then in a decent place. Geeked up? How you mean? Is Queens the hood? Yeah, and it's kind of like South Bend, probably, right? There's parts that are the hood and there's parts that are not. Nothing is, it was, he's all good. It wasn't what we thought it was. So it wasn't actually court, but it was something else. But he's all good. They were it was kind of misleading what we thought it was going to be. It wasn't that, which is good. Chavez Jr. looks in shape. He does. I saw that. Houses up everywhere. Yeah, man. I could imagine. I ain't buying. I mean, I can't buy right now. But even if I could, I wouldn't. I'd rent. Fuck that. I ain't buying. I'd rather have a landlord take care of my shit. Sink's broken. Come take care of it there. Papa. Whew. Is Ness live? I don't think he is. So we should get people jumping in this bitch. And John, where is this? You see the difference? I paid $500 for a small 2-bedroom condo in Brooklyn. That shows you how location. I paid $500, right? And you got a whole house for $128, wherever the fuck you're located. I'm gonna guess Midwest somewhere, or maybe the South. I don't know. Oh, South, Louisville. There you go. Louisville. I mean, I don't know much about Kentucky, the South, but Louisville seems like one of the more bustling cities, right? Oh, that's everywhere, every place in the map got the ghetto. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Queens, yeah, there's parts of it that are the hood. My father didn't grow up in the hood. Nah, he grew up in Flushing. That's not the hood at all. But it had like, dudes were getting mugged and robbed on the block in the 80s. Like it was definitely, the city, all New York City has hood-ish interactions occurring. So I could say that, unlike maybe parts of, they'll have, all of them are liable for hood-ish interactions to go down. But, you know, anywhere where there's a subway, hood shit's going to happen because people from the hood get on the subway and get there. 3-bedroom, 2 full bath with a den and private fence, 1,800 square feet. That's dope. Good for you. Yeah, we had 2-bedroom, 2 full baths. Half that size though. Half the size. See that? So not only was yours basically 1/5 the price, but it was also double the size. Insane. I don't know what I'm doing. I should have bought some shit like that and just put it and rented it. I could have bought 5 of your houses, right? And rented them and made cake. Problem is, I don't know anybody. Like, I'm not savvy like that. I don't know anybody. That's what we should have done when we think about it, because I ended up selling that condo and losing money on it. That was a mistake. A bunch of mistakes, but whatever. Moving forward. Yeah, it's wild, right? Wild shit. But you know, that's how it is. So next time I buy, I feel like next time I'm going to be able to buy, it's going to be where we stay, where we plant our roots, where we're down to stay. Because, you know, we want to get the fuck out of here now, but it's up there, Oval. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to mute you, but you are live. Wilder fired that tin can, Malik Scott. Tin can? Why is he a tin can? How do you know? You thought it was him teaching Wilder to do twirls, do ballerina twirls? I'm not calling him a bitch. That sounded that way. I'm just saying he was fucking twirling around. He was like a Tuscaloosa dreidel. Like, you don't turn your back to an opponent in boxing. That's like the cardinal sin. That's grounds to stop a fight. You guys know that, right? Turning your back is grounds for the ref to be like, fight's over. This guy doesn't want to fight. So that's the way it is. No, I have never trained. Nobody does that shit. What's up, ball out? Is he big? He's bigger than Canelo. I mean, he's shorter than I am, but he's bigger than Canelo. It's about 5'8", 5'8.5", maybe. Looked about 175, 180 to me in person. Heavier than me. I feel the pressure under more scrutiny, and what I do, act more stupidly. Is that Nas? Are they gonna make an issue over 4 pounds by Foreman? Oh, I didn't realize that. He came over 0.4? I mean, whatever's in the contract. There might be a monetary penalty. Schofield might have the option to cancel the fight. Who knows? What up, J-Bone Capone? That's what they're saying. Nah, he kind of turned his back because he also did that earlier in that same fight. He turned his back. He did that earlier. Like, it kind of turned him, but he turned too. He did it once before, I'm telling you. In that same fight. Watch it again. He did that same shit. Crawford looked good, yeah. Oh, Jesus. You bet Floyd cancels? Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, where have you been, John? Not a good look for Tevin if he missed weight. Shaking my head. Yeah, well. John Parkham, okay, kid, school, still take it. Just get some money. What's up, Mo? Floyd canceled on Shakur because Oscar asked them to. Oh, he made weight? Okay. Good. That's wild. That must be a lot of pressure. Like, yo, you got, what is it, like 2 hours? Go fucking run, sweat, spit. You know, that's what we do. We got to run. We got to spit. We got to sit in saunas, wrap ourselves in plastic clothes. Shit ain't fun. Hey, Mark, you have great content. Thank you, sir. You have any small talk with Dana White at that rooftop interview? Not really. Not with him. A little bit with Bud. The aircraft. Oscar had to buy his a pay at a time to get another payday before his. Phone lines are open, as you guys can see. Feel free to jump on in. Feel free to jump on in. Okay, that's better. Tevin made the weight. Yeah, good, right? Mosif, what up? My man, Mosif. Mikhail, what up? What up? What up? What up? How we doing? How is we doing? Phone lines are open. So whenever you're ready, jump on in. Remember, guys, we got these vintage Grant joints, 1998, never used. That might be I'm going to look this up. What year did Grant begin making boxing gloves? This might be one of the first years that they were doing it. I'm going to look it up. They keep saying it's almost in the late 90s. Okay, so not the first year, but close. This is 98, these gloves. These are some of the first gloves they ever made. Crazy. Congrats on your OKC Thunder winning the chip. Huh? My OKC Thunder? I'm very confused with that statement. Please elaborate. Mo Brands, what up? What up? What up, Yayo? Crap, yeah, against Roach. What's up, Victor? Yeah, you tell him, Vic. These guys are wilding out right now.
Hey, Marco.
Yo.
I'm going to tell you something, man, which you already know, but you carry yourself well around celebrities, man.
Thanks. I mean, I've been around them. When you grew up in New York City, man, that's dime a dozen. I grew up around celebrities. I grew up around, like, shit, like Calvin Klein's fucking nephew, Tommy Hilfiger's son. I knew Robert De Niro's son. I knew, like, you're just around them, and you're around big ones. So it's like, it's kind of, you know, I get used to it. But thank you. And I was also really close with, as you guys know, Shane, and Macaulay Culkin. So, you know, it's normal. Kind of like growing up in LA. People in LA probably go through the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I was around a lot of different people of prestige or whatnot, and some people handle it well, and some people, you know what I'm saying, do too much.
Word. Hey, Kobe, there's certain things we should keep to ourselves. That's one of them. Nasty bastard. 1988 gloves they're not signed, Victor. These are just Grant gloves, some of the first ever released. They're unused. From 1998, they're 8-ounce fight gloves. As you know, Grant gloves are very rare and expensive, especially unused. You think Benavidez is going to be fun? I hope not. I don't want to see that fucking fight. What's up, Mikhail?
Man, just got done shadow boxing. Chilling, seeing you were on, hopped on.
You're the man. I haven't worked out now. I wasn't able to go yesterday because I had to go into Brooklyn, and then today I was dealing with the shit with my son in the morning, the whole court shit.
Court, everything good?
He had a juvenile. He's 11. He's 12. He had this juvenile thing, and funny enough, he basically dropped the kid. He picked the kid up. That he was just they were playing around. It was consensual. And then when he let the kid down, the kid didn't brace his fall and hit his head on the floor. So it got like a light concussion, I guess. But the mother pressed charges.
The mother pressed charges for some roughhousing?
Yes.
They're boys.
You telling me, but my whole thing was, and I know you've had some experience, right, with court and shit. My whole thing is like, how could the cops even make that a charge when it was a clear accident?
Well, the thing is this. So once a claim gets made like that, it's not on the police really to be the judge and jury of that type
it's
of
not.
situation. They're just there to take reports.
But don't they need probable cause?
No, not in that situation because it's domestic.
No,
She
it was at
called-
school. It was at the
Oh, it was
school.
at school?
Yeah.
But the school didn't call. She called.
She
Now,
called.
this-
The mother the mother pressed the charges. Yeah, the school.
Yeah,
didn't.
so that's what I'm saying. In that case, it's a domestic dispute that the court is gonna work out. He'll be fine.
He is fine. We kind of went through it.
Yeah.
But like, I was baffled that could even be a charge. Like,
Yeah, nah. I
so
mean,
anything could be a charge. I could be
anything.
like, yo, like Mikhail slapped me over the internet. Arrest
Yep.
him.
Anything. You can literally call and they just have to take the report. Anything can.
But at what point do you have? But they issued the summons that he had to come in.
Yeah, because he has to come answer for someone bringing a charge against him.
Okay, well that makes me hate the cop less because she's like the cop that works the school, and I was just like, why would she?
Nah, the cop probably 9 times out of 10 he may have even suggested. Well, they're not really supposed to like give you legal advice, so you know what I mean. But I could imagine in that case, like he was probably like, "You really want to press charges? All right." I mean, then at that point, he just has to do his job.
All right. Well, anyway, so we went, but he's all good. You know, he's good. What's up, J-Bone?
What up? What up? What did you do now, Marco?
That was my son. My son, not me.
Mini Marco.
What did Mini Marco do?
It was an accident that happened at school, and then the moms pressed charges, and it was a complete accident. I'm like, you could fucking this is how soft the culture is today. You could press charges over an accident. Like, I get if it's an intentional ass whooping, but an accident when kids just playing around.
Man, if that was the case, I'd have been locked up how many times when I was growing up?
Right? I literally broke dude's arms. I broke arms on purpose and nothing, not even a slap on the wrist.
The world
Boys will be boys.
The world got soft on us, man. What's going on, Mikhail?
It's soft as Jello pudding. So he made. Wait, is that what we're hearing?
Yes,
Second attempt.
That's what we're hearing.
Was there an issue with Tevin Farmer? I thought they did weigh-ins yesterday, or was that today?
They fight tomorrow. Right?
So that was today. The weigh-ins were today. I seen some live weigh-in stuff, but I was in and out, not paying attention.
Yeah, the weigh-ins were today. They usually do official weigh-ins in the morning,
right?
But then they come back in the evening, for the press and for media, and then they do, a second
the ceremonial weigh-ins.
I call it the circus weigh-in. They do the circus weigh-in in the evening, especially MVP, because I've worked the MVP card. And that's
they're all. I didn't realize that the weigh-ins are all for show. Most of them,
they're all for show.
Well, the issue becomes, if you got to get a replacement fighter, or or if you have to come out to the press and somebody's not going to make weight, you would rather know that at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and guys want to start rehydrating.
That's a good point.
Correct.
That's a good point. I mean, I got you, Aircraft. No problem. Yeah, man, I'm kind of excited. I want to hear what J-Bone thinks because we haven't heard from him. But I believe Farmer's going to lose that fight, and I believe it's going to be relatively dominant victory for Schofield.
Whoa,
that's what I'm thinking.
First of all, that's the fight I'm looking forward to the most out of the weekend. We talked about that, right, Mikhail?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Same thing here.
Well, this is a big step up for Floyd Jr. Youth. I mean, a ton of experience for Farmer coming off, I think, 2 good performances, even though they were losses, especially the first beta fight, winning that fight. So I had him beating Morataya. So, I mean, Farmer has been on it's crazy because if you look at the record, it's not going to reflect it. But he's been on a pretty decent run, the last 4 or 5 fights, 6 fights. So experience versus youth and energy.
Who you got, Papa?
Oh man, Mikhail, we went back and forth on this on the show.
I already put mine out there. I got receipts, so I can't go back now.
You got Farmer?
And I do too. I'm going with the youth.
With Schofield, okay. You do too, Mikhail? You got Schofield?
No, I got Tevin Farmer.
And I went back and forth with it, man, because I love Tevin, but I like the youth and the energy and the fact that he will come forward. I don't like the fact that he's reckless at times, but
I'll tell you,
I think volume. volume, and it's going to look. I think the way Floyd fights with the energy and the style, it's going to look better for the judges.
I'll tell you one thing, and I'm not trying to make fun of his Tourette's, but if he has one of those things where his hands drop and he just stands there, Schofield's going to put him to bed like a Mother Goose lullaby, because he has to either move or fucking guard himself. Schofield can punch. So I worry about that.
Yeah, but Farmer's good. I mean, how many people have been able to stop him?
No, but I'm talking about with Zepeda. Did you remember he had 3 or 4 instances where it looked like it was maybe Tourette's, where he put his hands down and would just stand there, and we were all like, "What is he?" We thought his arm was hurt, remember? But then he started throwing it like no problem, and then after is when he first announced, "Oh, I have Tourette's," and it made sense because we were all like, "What the fuck's he doing?" Like it looked like he was trying to quit. It was weird.
Yeah.
So if he does that with Floyd, night.
I think it's crazy because we had discussed that at length on the show, and I had a feeling that that would influence your decision of going for Schofield. But this is the crazy part though.
Marco, though, you do sound a little biased in this one.
Bias? Well, stop trying to switch. This motherfucker, get out of here.
Nah.
Because you have a relationship with the Schofields, you sound biased.
Not really. Actually, not really. I barely talked to him. I've talked to him twice. Nah, it's just what I think. You're the biased one, Mr. Cornflake.
Yeah, but you're talking about
Anyway, Mr. fucking
nah. Never
Where's the crow?
Down, right?
I think he's but yeah, I think Farmer's also his best days are behind him. I do. Maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe different story.
Performances though against a volume puncher in Zepeda, who's actually an interim champion.
And he lost a split decision. One of the judges gave it to him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how you could say you think he's regressing.
I just think he's had a long career. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of he's at the end of it. I don't think he's washed up. I just think he's at the end of his career.
But I will tell you something. And Farmer said it when they did that face-off. You know how they sit down across the tables. Shout out to Floyd Sr. who took over the face-off as usual.
Weird.
They had to give him a seat. They had to actually pull up a chair and give him a seat.
That's one thing I like. Did you see the one time? Did you see when I was on Ness's show and then Ness started calling him out like playfully, but he was like, "Yo, would you stop talking? If you don't stop talking, I'm gonna choke you out. Let your son talk." Do you remember that? That was funny.
Like, yo, let's Floyd talk. But anyway, this is a big experience gap. This really is, man. You know, I mean, Farmer was like, "Yo, if I were y'all, I wouldn't have taken this fight because this level in here, and you haven't even done the middle." And I agree, but let's not forget he was supposed to fight Shakur if that fight would have ended up happening. So I like this fight. I think this is the fight that I'm looking for.
And we can say this. Let's say what I predict happens. Schofield wins dominantly. That'll make a Shakur fight even more desirable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Well, Shakur already said that he wouldn't give him another shot. So
a lot of people say things. That's Samurai Yayan.
Yayan, what up?
That's the
Samurai. What's up, Johnny? What's up?
Nah, a lot of people say shit, Yayan, and then they change their mind. You know how that is.
I mean, I think he kind of blew a shot, to be honest. He backed out the fight. He could just took it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's I don't know. And then it's funny how they refuse to say what happened. To this day, they're just like, we can't talk about it.
Shout out to Tuto who says he faked his death.
That's what it looked like.
That's pretty funny.
He always puts up that picture of him lying in the bed with all the
Tone's pretty funny. I never heard that. That's funny.
This is my question though. This is my question to both of you guys.
Go ahead,
Marco and
that me dog
and Johnny and shoot everybody on the panel is like, are we saying that Floyd Schofield is elite? Because Tevin Farmer has faced elite competition.
Well, here's what we have to do. Hold on,
champion.
Not to cut you off. But when this comes up, we always have to establish the parameters of what elite is for each of us. This is where this goes left.
We actually tried to do that on one of my shows, and it was like
it's hard because everybody's different. Yeah,
everybody's gonna have
everybody's different. But like you and me, Johnny, I think at one point we did something similar where we established what ingredients are for a pound for pound. I believe you and me did that, and we can go over it and establish some parameters. It's possible.
We came up with 4.
What's elite? What's elite to you guys?
Right. So, but Kyle, you were on that show?
Yeah, I was on the show.
You were on that show. Okay. So the first one was obviously you had to be a champion, preferably multiple times and possibly multiple divisions.
That's elite. Okay.
That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 was the competition. You got to look at your competition, obviously.
This is for elite we're talking about, right?
Right. You can't be considered elite if you're fighting a bunch of C-level fighters.
Okay.
Right? And you're washing them because again, the eye is he's elite, but really, come on.
Right. Okay. How much you so far?
Number 3 would be what the hell was the third one? Third one would be skill, right? Because if you look at a fighter, there has to be an elite skill level,
right?
And you can see that. He'll display that. You can see it, but real boxing fans will see it. So you have to have elite skills. Skills with an S, at least.
Real quick. You guys see this right here?
What? Yeah.
You see this?
Salute, love, Yayin.
Oh yeah. In the
you got a new one?
I'm sorry. That was Yayin's mad uncomfortable now. Go ahead.
Hey Marco.
What's up?
Who's that?
Hey, I want to.
Who is that?
I apologize for changing the topic a little bit. I want to just ask this question. Hot topic of today that came up. I wanted to get your opinion on. Is Terrence Crawford more skilled and elite than Canelo, just based off skill?
Well, it's actually not changing the topic, right? Because we're talking about elite. So it's kind of on topic. Is Terrence more elite than Canelo? Well, let's finish what we think elite is, because if we don't establish what elite is, nobody can answer this.
All right.
Yeah. Who is that?
All right. Solidus
T.
What up, bro?
Okay.
What's up?
Salute. So and then the last one. What did I just say? I said what was the third one?
Skills.
I said?
You were elite skills.
I have an elite skill set.
So belts
would be
competition,
obvious.
Skills.
Right. And then the last one, which somebody brought up, right? That time. So it has to be a time frame, right? Because there are fighters that were considered elite at one point in their career, but then when you fight them, they weren't elite. So
okay. We're talking currently elite. Okay.
Okay. So if we're talking elite, then maybe the first 3 fit the bill.
So,
if you're talking career, then you would look at the 4th. So that's what we came up with on my show.
I agree with most of that. Bud and Canelo, it's a tough one because in terms of skills, I guess Bud is more skilled overall, but I guess Bud has more skill. Pound for pound.
So for you to just ask that question, the reason why I would say Canelo today is because of the resumes. Remember, that's a criteria that we just said, right? The opponents. So Canelo has
the resume.
Right, the resume, right? Because if you look at the Canelo's opponents and you look at Bud's resume, it's clear that Canelo has fought in totality the better resume of fighters than Bud.
Right. And
now,
Canelo
it's the same.
Canelo's had tons of belts, right? Did he win a belt at 47 or just 54?
No, not 47.
Just 54.
How many classes has he won titles in?
54, 60, 68, 75. So 4.
I'm not mad at that. The only thing about Canelo is I feel like Canelo is bad at fighting off the back foot. There's a lot of advantages to fighting off the back foot. Crawford doesn't have that issue. And I feel like Canelo, every time he fought like guys that weren't scared of him, that were like elite level, he either lost or got pushed to the edge. Haven't seen that happen to Crawford yet. So I feel like that should count for as well. And then just off pure boxing ability, I think Crawford is a little bit more skilled than him. That's how I feel. I want to just get everybody else's take. Because every time Canelo, like I said, when he fought somebody that's really skilled, and like y'all know what it is with Mayweather, but other fighters that he fought that were really skilled, they either pushed him to the edge or they beat him. To this day, people still are willing to argue that Triple G won the first 2 fights. That should tell you something.
Well, he
It's
won
not
the
like
first
Canelo
fight.
just beat him.
He won the first
You
fight,
see,
in my opinion.
So here's you're right, and I would agree with you with the skill. But your question was who is more elite, right? That was your question.
Yeah.
well, yeah, elite skill, yeah. You can say that, yeah.
We're looking at who is more overall elite, which is crazy because they're both elite. Then if you look at the criteria that we just kind of made up, I would give the skill level to Crawford, right?
Yeah.
The titles, right? Multiple titles in different divisions. I'd give that to Canelo because he's won titles in more divisions. I think one more division.
But some
Yeah.
people, but wait, Johnny, and I'm just playing devil's advocate. Some people can argue, yeah, but he wasn't undisputed twice.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But if we stick with what we just said, not that.
No, that's
Right.
part of the belts, though. Some people look at
And then
undisputed
the last one-
as more of an achievement for in terms of belts.
And then the last one would be opponents. I'd give that to Canelo.
Definitely.
Right? You just said that. So if you look at it, Canelo gets, in my opinion, 2 out of the 3. That's
Can
the only
I jump in?
Go ahead.
But
Yeah.
again, this is a fake. This is not an official criteria. This
So the
is
way
just-
I look at it as you can argue based on what I said about the undisputed. Some people could look at that being undisputed in 2 different weight divisions as more of an achievement than winning belts in 4 weight classes. Some people can argue that, right? I don't know where I fall on it.
Absolutely. It's
So
subjective at the end of the day. It's like the pound for pound list. You ask 100 people what their top 10 pound for pound is, you're going to get 90 different responses.
right, but then you got people like our man Solidus. If people could break down the resume, well, he had fought better people, but they were all old, or they all pushed him or they're all hyped up, hype jobs. Like,
Right. That's what makes
When I said
intriguing.
when I said the back foot thing, when his recent loss against Bivol, his power wasn't working on Bivol, so Bivol was like fighting off the back foot, but then there was times where he was walking Canelo down, and Canelo was forced to fight off the back foot, and he failed terribly at just being able to fight Bivol back off the back foot. Crawford can fight off the back foot, so that's why I say he's more skilled.
Canelo said he had some kind of an injury or something. I slightly believe it because I've never seen Canelo sit there.
I don't
Right.
use that.
Let me finish. I've never seen Canelo slightly just sit there and let the opponent pop off on him like Orville Redenbacher and not throw any counters.
Yeah.
He would just sit there and just let the – it was weird. Now, look, it was minor. But I never seen him that. So there is a chance that Bivol was just overwhelming him, but I don't know.
Let me jump in here real quick because I gotta get an understanding. So, because he's saying, is Crawford more multidimensional? Like, can he do more things in the ring? Yes.
Yeah. Canelo, yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily say that makes you more skilled. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, styles make fights. So there are guys that are maybe more skilled in just fighting in their style. I don't think this applies to Canelo and Crawford. I would say Crawford is more skilled than Canelo, but there are guys that are just, they only know how to fight in their style. That's all they've been taught. That's all they've ever fought in. So it may not be from a lack of being able to do something. It just may be that their style dictates this is how I fight. You know what I mean? Like like I think at a point in time when Canelo was younger and that he probably had more ability and could have developed more back foot skills, but they chose to go in a different direction as far as his fight style, and the style that he's been fighting in is pretty much patented to him. Eddie Reynoso taught him a certain style, and that was the style that moved him forward and moved the needle after the Floyd loss. So you know what I mean? Like I think as especially as you progress in age, it's hard for a old dog to learn new tricks. And so some people are kind of set into their styles, and that could lead us to say, oh, well, this guy's less skilled or more skilled. But definitely Crawford's the more multidimensional. He's definitely the more skilled. He's got more skills, more of a bag to go to. He's got more tools in the bag.
And I would agree with that. You know what's crazy about this fight? I was thinking about this the other day on my show. This is the most intriguing, and I'm quotating, I'm using that word in quotations, intriguing fight that we've seen in a very, very long time, because even Bud against Spence, that fight, I wouldn't say that fight was intriguing. That fight was much anticipated. The two best guys in the division, we knew, but this one is so much questions like, well, the skill level and this and the Ikechi, is he better skill wise? Is he not? Like, it's intriguing. Like, it's so like there's just so much story. Like, we got to see this shit type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you say this is the Pacquiao Mayweather of this era of boxing?
Yes, it might be closest to it. And again, I know that fight, everybody wanted to see it for 5 years. This one just materialized. But from an intrigue standpoint, like these type of conversations, man, I don't think we were having these type of conversations at this level for Bud and Spence. It was more like we wanted to see them fight. Some people were on Bud's side because they thought he was more skilled. Some people were on Spence's side because they thought he would run him over. This one is crazy. We're looking at all the little details. I look at this fight like the modern day Sugar and Hagler, because it's like he ain't fought in a while. He ain't fought in a while like Sugar did, and he's coming back and he's coming up in weight like Sugar did, and he's fighting the guy that's been fighting there.
Except Canelo does not have that aura of invincibility that Hagler had at that particular time.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
Hold on, real quick, guys. Let me hit up these super chisels. Julio Guzman, my man. Let me thank you properly.
Thank you. Come again.
Crawford is more skilled against lesser opposition. There we go. I knew you could break down the resume if you want to do it. My man, Mo Biggity Brains. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Come again.
Would an active Spence do better against Canelo? No. Wait, why? What? Why? Why would you ask that?
They're saying because of the fight style. I mean, he's gonna
yeah, nah. You don't beat Canelo when you stand in front of him and do what he does. You beat Canelo when you get slick with it.
Spence in his prime was an excellent body puncher, so it's Canelo. So I mean, I would assume
he's too small. Yeah, I think the way to beat Canelo, in my opinion, is you got to get slick with it. You got to get movement, setting traps, stuff that Spence wasn't. That Spence was known to be a lumberjack. He would just chop you down. But you need a.
And we see what happened when he tried that with Bud.
Right,
he got chopped.
Right, you need a Mayweather type. You need some IQ, some high level Einstein pugilistic IQ to take care of that.
How many vlogs asked how many styles has Crawford faced?
All day to do that.
I mean, I would say at this point with 40 some fights he's faced most of them.
Yeah, if not all of them.
I feel like Canelo's style with Crawford can get around that. It's just the weight difference. That's the only thing that's throwing me off. I feel like the way Canelo fights, I can see Crawford outboxing him and beating him. It's just the weight.
Yeah.
68. That's the only issue I have with it.
Solid.
But I can see that.
Again,
what's up?
I'm going to say this again because, you guys have all heard the story real quick. Let me thank my man again.
Thank you. Come again.
And that's not because you look Indian, Mo, because you do. That's just, it happens to be the soundbite. Just got a text, 70% off tickets to the Wilder fight. I'll bet you did. You're not kidding.
Where's the Wilder fight at? Where's it at?
In Wichita, Kansas. You get a flight right now for like $10.
It's at the basement of the Holy Baptist Church. You ever go to those, Johnny, growing up? They'd have those parties in the. That might be a New York reference.
Like where you got a kick-in party. You got to pay like $5 at the door.
In New York City, dudes would throw parties because churches will rent, which is so weird. They would let you rent out their basement.
Oh, the basement.
Do they do that shit? Like Macau, where you're from, they do that?
The churches wouldn't necessarily rent out the basement, but we have had some teen parties, some teen club parties type of thing. I don't know how they talked them into.
In the churches.
They were definitely at a church. And I was
New York, those would be ratchet ass parties.
I was like, we're going straight to hell, man, because we're not supposed to be doing this in a church.
Call them hooky parties, jams.
You are, Johnny, your voice is a little low, by the way. So it's a little hard to hear you.
I don't have my mic on. That's why I'm not in.
Okay, it's all good. It's all good.
How about now?
Better, yeah. When you get closer, it's better. So wait, we were talking about Crawford. Well, what was the point we were on?
I want to give solace. I want to give a shout out for that comparison because when I had Lampley on, he said the same thing. He asked Larry Merchant, who's still alive. He's 94 years old. I didn't even realize that.
Wow.
if Crawford could beat Canelo, and he said Larry told him, did Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler? He said, yeah. He said, then yes, Crawford can beat Canelo because he considered that very, very similar.
I disagree.
That's what Larry Merchant said.
No, and look, that's cool, but I don't think.
If you look at it is the smaller guy moving up. Hagler was, obviously what people consider as Canelo, right? The puncher, the guy who's going to walk you, walk you down. Crawford is probably considered going into this fight more of the better boxer.
Right. But if you look at Terrence Crawford's shoes, the forefoot of the shoes have no wear and tear on them, meaning this motherfucker does not dance around like Sugar. That's not his style. He would not.
You're looking at it in, again, the intricate, whatever word I'm talking about. Right? Intricacies. Look at going into the fight. That's to Salah's point. That's what I think the closest that we're.
And by the way, arguably Hagler beat him. Like, we did a watch party and everybody thought Hagler.
That's what I was going to get to, Marco. I was like, we did a watch party and Hagler actually won.
But I don't like that comparison because I don't think Crawford fights fucking anything like Sugar Ray. Like, Crawford's a great fighter, but I don't think his strong points are nothing to do with Sugar Ray's strong points.
But Canelo technically doesn't fight like Hagler either. It's more the fight, the stature, the big guys.
I think Canelo is similar because Canelo goes forward and puts pressure, throws a lot of hard punches. So that's similar. I don't think there's anything similar.
The fighter that kind of reminded me of Marvin Hagler. I don't know if y'all going to agree with this or not, but I thought Triple G was the modern day Marvin Hagler.
No, Triple G was just him and Kovalev were kind of classic, Soviet, come forward, throw hard punches, not a lot of head movement. Hagler's.
I say that because I say that because Triple G was a long time middleweight like Hagler, and he never been dropped, and he beat everybody. It's kind of similar to Hagler. That's where I'm getting that from. Then the way they fight, I saw a little bit of Hagler in him. So I was like, he's kind of like the modern day Hagler.
So on the surface, I agree with you. They're both one of the greatest pressure fighters who ever walked the earth. But when you look into the intricacies, a lot of different things under the hood.
Yeah, I can see that.
The first time I jacked that shit up.
That's okay.
Marco, I just want to say, like, when we compare, it's not always like a one-to-one comparison. It's just it's the concept of it. It's like the smaller fighter going up 2 weight classes to challenge the man at the weight class.
But and that I take it literally because Sugar Ray to me is top 4 greatest fighters who ever lived. So like.
Sugar
Ray Leonard. Yeah, he's one of the greatest who ever lived.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, one of my favorites.
But I get what you guys mean. I do see the similarities in him moving up, and but Sugar also was retired for like 3 years at the time.
What version was better? Jerry Curl Sugar Ray or Afro Sugar Ray? Which would you like better?
Which one's
a wild question, Champ?
You said Jerry Curl?
Like what was he a better fighter when he had the Jerry curl or when he had the afro?
Ray Leonard never had a Jerry curl, did he?
He had in the 80s he had a little process in there. It was a little S curl.
Afro, exactly. I was gonna say afro.
I mean, Hagler had his shit was dripping.
Let me hop in real quick.
You mean her?
Hagler shit was dripping.
Hearn, sorry. Oh, Hagler had nothing.
Right. Like, what the fuck? Hagler is worse than you, Marco. He was, clean shave. But and we got great hair up here. We got Johnny with the hairline. We got Makai with more hair than me. So we got stiff competition. But let me say this. I wouldn't say Triple G is analogous to Hagler. Only in thudding punches. Great power, withstand his ground and mix it up with anybody. But no, Hagler had all the tools. He was like, I wouldn't even say a jack of all trades, more of a master of all trades, in my opinion. So that's what separated them. As far as the comparison between Sugar Ray, Hagler, Canelo, Crawford, I agree with Marco. The only thing similar is the weight jump. Stylistically, I don't see it. Not saying it's impossible, obviously. Anyone talking shit in the chat, I got a rack on it and I'm willing to put another one up. So I'm confident in Crawford, but stylistically, no, there's no similarity to me there.
You going for Crawford?
Word.
Yeah, he's betting a G. Him and who is it?
Got two.
E-Rock, right?
Me and E-Rock, yeah. I got one more up for grab if nobody's taking it, but yeah, I got to rack up with E-Rock. He said the same thing as me. Put a rack up. Dudes want to talk a lot of shit, but they don't want to put their money where their mouth is.
I want Crawford to win. I'm just worried about the weight difference. I want Crawford to win.
Yeah, well, to Marco's point, he's seen both of them side by side. So if they both got to be, 168 a day before, it's not going to be that drastically different.
So I want to kind of touch on that point. As you guys all know, I was with them, I saw them and all that, and Crawford looked bigger. But I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, let's say Crawford always walks around at 180 between fights. So let's say he's always been a bigger guy, and he's just can lose 30, 40 pounds, which, by the way, on his frame is crazy to do. But then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, but he has zero experience fighting heavier dudes in the pros. Pros. That matters. Like I know we all spar. Point. I sparred heavyweights. Like we all spar bigger, but he has zero experience. So does that mean anything?
Who has zero experience?
Crawford has zero experience fighting.
He's never had a fight
heavier fighters in the pros, right? Even though he might be a bigger man technically or as big, he still doesn't have that experience that Canelo has. So does that mean anything?
Yes, it's definitely a factor. I weigh all that in, so I'm not just going to be blind about it. Yeah, most definitely.
Dude, it's about punch resistance, man. I said right with this. It's about punch resistance,
right? And he's never tested his in the pros against bigger people. So that's what I'm trying to say.
We'll match him off.
I'm not going to get there. People tell me all the thing. My thing was, and people say this, I say, that punch that Canelo landed flush on Belanga's chin that dropped Belanga, who was 200 pounds that night. Will Bud be able to take that type of punch? And people are going to sit back and say, well, he's not going to be there to get hit. You don't know. There's a chance he's going to get hit in that fight. It's a fight. And the last I checked, Bud likes to fight. I don't see Bud winning like most people, most whatever, like, oh, Bud has to run around. I don't see that.
He's not doing that.
No, Bud is going to fight this man. So if he does get hit with a shot like that, what's the resistance? That's my only question. If he can walk through that shot, then I tell you, Bud got a really good chance to win. If he can't,
let's get the official prediction here from J-Bone Capone. Who's going to win that fight?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot, man. See, I don't like to make my predictions until they're close because you know why? Then I'll flip-flop.
So that's okay. Who you got now?
Who I got right now?
Yeah, you can flip-flop. That's cool. It happens.
Right now, I gotta go with Canelo.
Wepa!
Yeah, I gotta go with Canelo. But again, that can change. We're not even nowhere near it.
I mean, what else are we really going to see that's going to sway you? Maybe the weigh-in? I mean, what are you going to see that would change your mind? What could you possibly see?
Sometimes they do these 24/7s behind the scenes, and we see Bud crack out a light heavyweight and sparring. I don't know. You never know. Something. I mean, I like Bud, and I'm rooting for Bud, to be honest with you. I don't like the way Canelo's been moving the last few years in diva mode. This fight should be against David Benavidez.
Real quick, is this comment true? Can anybody corroborate this?
No. Bomac just says that they have a plan. He's never given the plan.
Everybody's assuming that's the plan to run. Bud is too competitive.
He absolutely, and he just doesn't run. He's not on the toes type dude. That's not how he fights.
Yeah, he's not gonna. I don't see him running. And the thing with Canelo too is Canelo throws punches at the arms, body. You know what I mean?
Which, by the way, I thought was a very bad tactical choice against Bivol. All that arm punching. Yeah. Especially when you're 7-8 rounds in and it's not doing anything. He just wouldn't abandon. He just kept doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you know who did that first? The first man to ever do that or famous for it was Rocky Marciano. He would hit dudes in the arm to tire their arm out. And I know what you guys are thinking. I know what you're thinking.
Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got to pull
Bud can definitely outbox Canelo. Absolutely, Bud can outbox Canelo. But he has to get in and out. In, out.
Right. Johnny, spot on.
Hold it down, guys. I'll be right back, but keep going.
That's how he has to fight. He has to fight an in and out, smart fight. And he can do that. He can definitely do that.
And this is the thing, though, Johnny. When people say in and out, right, they're thinking that he needs to move like on a straight line. Like he needs to be in the pocket, then he needs to be out the pocket, then he needs to be in the pocket. This is the thing. Bud doesn't fight like that. But I didn't study Bud like crazy, like crazy, and Bud does have movement. Bud does have some subtle little. Now, if he can get that lateral movement to where this is the thing about boxing and about punching. Punchers punch when their feet are set. You're never gonna see a puncher, somebody that puts that power, the type of power that Canelo puts in his punches. And Marco, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You're never gonna see a puncher like the type of puncher that Canelo is, that really whips everything into their punch without their feet being set. They were saying how Bud needs to be in and out, and I'm thinking that people are thinking that he's gonna bounce in and out, like in and out the pocket on his toes. But if he can create lateral movement to where he has to make Canelo move his feet, which was the frustrating part for Canelo with what's his name, the runner, the guy that came in there,
Skull?
Yes, Skull had that Cuban bounce to the side, bounce to the side, bounce to the side, and that's what was pissing Canelo off, was he couldn't set his feet and drop a bomb on him. So if Bud can stay disciplined and have lateral movement, not so much the in out, you know what I'm saying, on a straight line, but lateral movement to where he's making Canelo pick up his feet, that is where I could see Bud being successful.
That's a great point, McCall. That's the first time I heard that brought up, but that is the type of movement I see him utilizing, working the angles more so. Like he had to against Madrimov. So that was a great, like, they're nothing similar, not Madrimov and Canelo, but that's a great like training wheels for him. You feel me?
How do we think? This is to me the main question. How does Bud absorb not only the chin checks, but the liver shot? How's he going to absorb those shots? Can he?
Again, he can take one or two, but he's not going to be trying to be in position to take too many of those.
He's going to get hit though. He's going to look.
Yeah, of course. I said not too many. Not too many.
Right.
I can say.
Oh, my fault.
No, you're good.
No, as long as he doesn't get chin checked with something clean, and he can absorb the body shots that he does get caught with, he should be fine. But I don't know, man. I just know that it's an adjustment fighting at a higher weight. I tried it. I went right back down to 130.
It's
I tried it, and it's like, this is different, and I would really have to get used to this.
I used to like fighting
where I'm comfortable
because you develop your power, you develop your punches. It's like hitting a heavier punching bag. At first, it's like a little kind of hard, but then eventually you learn how to torque it and actually start moving it. And then
I like sparring bigger guys. Like I like sparring guys that are at 147, like up. But when it came to fighting, I wasn't. Like I tried to fight at a higher weight one time, and I had to go back where I was more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, he's making a lot of adjustment. That's why I really think that it's not going to be so much. I don't think that Canelo will finish Bud. I think that Bud won't be able to go to certain parts of his bag because of the power. He won't be able to just walk through something and gut out. Because at the end of the day, to me, that's how he gutted out the Madrimov win. The herky-jerky was bothering him. The timing was bothering him. But by the end of the fight, he got adjusted to the power. He said, okay, I can't take these punches. And he just walked him down and did what Bud Crawford does.
Yeah, he can't.
You can't do that to Canelo.
Nah, you can't earmuff Canelo. You can't earmuff guard him. That's not. You can't. You just can't. And but maybe he'll have. Maybe he'll employ more waist movement. Maybe he'll employ more head movement. Not necessarily bouncing around on his toes, but moving around James Toney type. Maybe not like to that extreme, but
I mean, he worked with Mayweather, so maybe Mayweather showed him a thing or two. Because Mayweather wasn't super mobile at the end of his career. He knew how to tie you up. He knew how to be very tactical with his movement, get right out of the way of punches a little bit, and he knew how to counter you. So, I mean, I don't know.
Fellas, what's crazy? Just this little conversation right here. Now I want to switch and say I think Bud wins. You know what I'm saying?
I knew it. Hey, you called it, though. You were honest. You coming in, you said, I might flip-flop. And, 10 minutes later, there you go.
To me, right now, I mean, how many months out are we? 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. To me, it's too early. Like I gotta get into that maybe like in August.
Yeah, let it marinate.
I don't care about all access type of stuff, and I don't really watch press conferences. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Let's remember one thing. Canelo has an equally vicious and determined will in the ring, as does Bud. And that's going to play a big part. He is just as determined, just as competitive as Crawford is.
I don't know. Crawford refused to lose, and Canelo has taken two clear L's, possibly 4. So I don't know.
That doesn't mean that his will wasn't there. It just means he got like, I'm just saying, like, the will is there too. So they're pretty evenly matched in wills. You could argue Bud's will, I guess, is better because he didn't lose, but he has great will.
I mean, with Canelo, we seen him get like visibly frustrated in fights. You know, when things not going his way.
Against who?
Bivol. Floyd. Like, he just, you can tell he not in the fight when he's losing.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I mean, he was over his head against both those guys, really.
I think guys that move around really piss him off because he wants to fight. You know, he wants a stationary target. He doesn't want he doesn't want to have to find you or look to find you. He wants to be, you know, you to be easy to be found. I'm hearing you guys talking, and I'm thinking in my head about the Crawford and Spence fight. And I'm like, damn, man, could Crawford pull out one of those?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Canelo's.
And I'm like, damn, could that be the case?
If he starts dropping Canelo, oh my God.
He drops Canelo. I'm losing my shit. I'm breaking the TV.
If he stops Canelo, bro, I don't see any pro where that happens. Nobody he's even come close to it, and Canelo has fought bigger guys than Bud. So if Bud was to do that shit, oh my Lord.
Man, Bud Crawford for president. He stops Canelo. We should just give him the presidency.
I'm not counting on that, but let me say this real quick. I think Canelo's reluctance to have to find somebody, as you say, to adjust to whatever style, I think that's a big mental weakness. Because Bud, in my opinion, will do whatever he has to do to get the victory. He's not going to say, oh, well, he was sitting down on his punches and I couldn't get out of the way, so I couldn't fuck with it, or, you know, whatever type of scenario. He's going to take whatever the opponent gives, and like a chess match, he's going to adjust. So that's how I see it.
They're jumping on you, Johnny. Leave Johnny's hairline alone.
Hey, everybody gets a little enhancements. They go to the barbershop. That's what that's called at the barbershop. That's called enhancements.
Nah, man. I grew up around a lot of Puerto Ricans. He has a Puerto Rican hairline. That's classic. I'm telling you.
I was born with this hairline. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, nah, his shit is classy. It's real. It's real.
I'm not, yo, Mikhail and CJ. I'm not understanding where the hate is coming from, yo.
No. That ain't hate. I was trying to give you the, you know what I'm saying? In the hood, we all get it. I get it. I get it done when I get my stuff cut.
What do I tell y'all on my show? The best motherfucking hairline in boxing podcasting, bar none, at the Hangar.
Yeah, we just like homies, man. It's just giving you shit because we cool. That's all it is.
I mean, that's a fact. I could be the worst hairline in boxing podcasting.
Yes, definitely.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Yes.
That was Sugar Ray Leonard type reaction time. Yes.
Are number one pound for pound in the worst, and I'm number one pound for pound in the best.
Stop taking mushrooms, HLDs, a Boricua like you, from Boricua land.
I want HLD to hop up. He was talking shit earlier. He talked shit every time.
Crawford stopping Canelo.
Make sure you read Stay Wavies.
No.
Stay Wavies. Go to it. Yeah. Johnny, lick your finger. Lick your finger and rub.
Yeah, if he had enhancements,
your hairline.
Wait to say lick your finger.
You got to shout me out. I gave you that suggestion for that drop last night. It was going to be the first one on my soundboard, but you got it.
You did give me the suggestion. You did. That was a great one. That's I was trying to. The Tutti Frutti is getting kind of old.
Nothing but love for you, bro.
Marco, definitely the worst hairline. Kiss my ass.
Aircraft carrier, shout out to you. I wish I had my hair.
Hey, one thing I do wonder, right, Marco, when I see guys that are either completely bald or balding, right? I wonder, like, where was their hairline at? Like, I try to recreate the hairline in my head. Like,
you trying to make me sad? Is that what's happening today?
No, it's just something I do. It's like when I look at him, I'm like, where exactly was it at?
Recreate the hairline in my head. That's hella funny.
guys, take that pen that you have in your hand, Marco. Take it and just draw where it would have been had you had it.
No, we've
No,
seen
we've
pictures.
Yeah, we've seen him.
Yeah, I'll show you the picture of
Let me see.
the one. Let me gotta find the shit.
Hey, yo, Marco.
What's up?
Hey, I appreciate you letting me on. I got to step off for a little bit. I'm gonna catch you on the next live.
Yo, peace out to you, brother.
All right, peace. Yep.
I liked his questions. I liked how he came in. Man. Real knowledgeable.
Yeah, no, he's good.
I love it.
He's good with it. I'm trying to.
It's bad when you got to dig down deep into the archives to find that shit.
Oh, I gotta dig. I'm trying to find it. I just showed it. It's one where it was like a promo picture for when I was a pro.
The one that somebody pops up.
Your that one.
Account.
Yeah, you can see it there.
Well, who is the birth account?
What is the Wilder fight on? I don't see it. Albert, the Wilder fight is on BLK Prime, and I think they have a pay-per-view too.
Yo, and let me tell you something. BLK Prime is fucking up. I got that they fucking up. They just fucking up. I mean, that's all I gotta say. Remember,
the press conference looked like something we would have did. The press conference looked like an amateur show. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It did. It did. It looked like it was being filmed, like I said, in a church basement.
So you know how my guy King Cam, right? Kamari A. Walker, the prospect 5-0.
Yeah,
I've had his arm, Marcus Walker. So they just signed a deal with Black Prime. They fight next week on Saturday. Bro, it's today, right? They were supposed to get flown out to the Wilder fight, so they could be there for the Wilder fight.
Yeah, at the promo.
They dissed them. They didn't fly them out for that. And then right now, a week away, they still don't have flights. They still don't have hotels.
Wow.
It's good. Yeah, it's not good.
Jesus.
Somebody said shut the fuck up and talk boxing, so let's talk boxing.
You shut the fuck up and talk boxing. That fight's tonight.
Are you talking? I don't even know who that is. What is
Me
that?
neither. I don't even know what his name is. FedEx.
What's the screen name?
Fuck my ex. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
What's the
talk boxing? Yeah.
Bomb Squad.
We've been talking boxing the entire time. We've been talking Canelo and you LG. Shout out to you. I agree.
I ain't gonna lie. I'll take a BLK Prime deal right now, though, as long as they paying.
Is Mr. Bomb Squad gonna actually throw punches, or are we gonna see the same guy we saw the last two fights?
Who?
Wilder.
Oh man.
Who is his new trainer? Who's been training him? Because they said he fired Malik Scott, but okay, then who is his trainer?
Somebody that was co-training with Malik Scott.
So what difference are we expecting it to make? It's the same team.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't put any stock into that.
Because I got excited when they said, okay, he finally fired Malik Scott. I said, okay, somebody's going to come in there. They're going to be able to getting back to the old Wilder, just because the old Wilder was a little reckless, a little street fighter. But, you know.
Did he fire him or did he fucking leave?
Nah, I don't know. He replaced him. I'll tell you that much. But he should have stood with Mark Breland, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, but Mark, there's no coming back from that. After the way he treated Mark.
From that.
You know what? Mark, man, that was fucked up. That was. And you had a whole army of people believing it. That's how Wilder had so many people they believe Mark was poisoning them.
Who just jumped on? Somebody else just jumped on?
Yeah, that's he's Boricua.
Who's that?
I don't know what his real name is though.
Well, tell us your real name. HD.
Que lo que?
Isn't that Dominican?
Que lo que, bro? You Puerto Rican, bro?
Yeah, you're right. That's totally right.
Puñeta, what is that, bro?
What up,
You've been hanging out with Nets too long, bro. You've been hanging out with Nets too long, bro. Stop being his lapdog, bro. You gotta stop doing that, bro.
All right, hold on. Let's get it right. Puñeta, ¿qué pasa, Boricua? ¿Qué lo que?
Oye, hermano, bro. You know, you sitting on this dude's lap over there. All you Boricuas on that panel, man. Making us real Boricuas look bad, bro. I mean, y'all acting at whatever that man says over there. I don't like that, bro.
He hates Ness, as you could tell. He does not like that. He
Yeah,
doesn't like it.
No, I don't like Ness in aspects of how he pushes bullshit. But then you guys, the rest of you guys on this panel being his lapdog, bro. Like, come on, man. Anybody gonna, lapdogs, whether you like it or not. You guys pants with anything that man says. It's just disgusting.
I know you're not talking about me. I don't know.
Can't be
You're
talking about
Hey,
Marco.
if the hat fits, wear it.
I know you're not talking about me.
That is
That's all
absolutely
I'm saying.
That is not.
But this is the thing though. I'm gonna speak in defense of both my guys, both Johnny and Marco. I've seen
He's not
go
talking.
head to
All
head.
jokes aside, yo, Makai, I want to hear it, but he's not talking about me. I'll tell you.
I'm saying though, there's only two panelists up here, and both of y'all been head to head.
Man, if you're Boricua, you don't need no one to defend you. You stand on your 10 toes. You don't need nobody.
I think he's talking about Johnny. I believe this is Johnny. It's not me.
Yeah,
I just fucking told you, you capping. You lying. I disagree with Ness before. I definitely disagree with Ness before.
Yo, man, it's con cariñito, you know. I disagree with you, Papi. You know, it's not like yo, Ness, you full of shit, bro. You full of shit, bro.
Yo, yeah, if you knew me, bro, I'm not like that, bro. It's all love, brother. I don't take it personally. Hell no, bro. We family, bro. What's good? Talk to me.
How's that Ness panel this morning, man? What happened with that Brian Norman fight, bro? You guys been pushing.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, bro. Be patient. It will happen. It will happen. I can't say more than that, but just be patient.
You still believe it? Yeah, man, I'm happy.
If I still believe it,
yeah.
See, I can't. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's just leave it at that. I still believe it. Yeah.
I believe in Santa Claus too.
I'm gonna say this, like, for sure they still in negotiations. You know what I'm saying? I believe what Brian Norman Sr. comes out and says. I know that Bill Haney spends a lot of spin. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can't always put a lot of stock in some of what he's saying, but you know, they said that there was a hiccup. You know, that's what Adrian Clark came out and spoke on, and that they negotiate, and negotiations fall apart, come back together. That's the thing about negotiating in public. Most of the time, as boxing fans, we don't see what happens behind closed doors.
Bill Haney does not want this fight, guys. He's been always clout chasing this all out with his bullshit list that he created with Ness. This is just all clout chasing, stay relevant. But he did not expect that Turkey was gonna go behind the back. And okay, I'm gonna hire a hitman for you stealing my money on May 2nd. So I'm gonna make sure I could get Norman Jr. to whoop that ass. And then when he had him, you're gonna fight Norman Jr. and Bill did not want that. Simple as that.
We gotta see how shit shakes out. People get too heavy in the fandom on one side and want to jump the gun. Let's see what happens. Let's talk a month from now. Let's see.
Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, relax. That's all I'm saying. We'll all be happy at the end.
What's he talking about?
Nobody wants to see no damn Devin Haney fight this killer running around like a chicken shit. Nobody wants to see that.
This narrative. You got it.
Nobody wants to see that. I mean, the fact is, y'all need to humble yourself and tell Bill Haney your son needs to rebuild. You have a fine young man that needs to rebuild.
This is why I gave Haney props for taking this fight, bro. Moving up to 147 to face Brian Norman Jr. in his first fight.
The TBD is the one who made up that whole Devin Haney. Bro, nobody on May 3rd was clamoring to watch Devin Haney fight anybody, let alone Tio. That was just a Bill Haney narrative who bought the Ness bullshit like he always does, boxing scene 2, and try to push and try to create, just like they're trying to do with the Norman Jr. fight. The difference is that Turkey said, I'm gonna call behind you and I'm gonna get this killer to whoop your motherfucking ass because you stole my money. And now
let me throw hypothetical out there.
Like a goofball.
HLD, let me throw this hypothetical out.
Let me land my plane. They're gonna let this play out, let it sizzle, let it go away, be no more part of it. And then you know what? What happened with the Haney and Brian Norman Jr. fight? Oh, I don't know. Maybe Haney slipped in the sauna or something. You know what I mean?
All right, cool. HLD, I'll let you go. Because I'm gonna be quick. So hypothetically, it sounds like you're very anti-Haney, which is your right to be. I ain't tripping. I'm not a Haney fan. I just try to be objective with my shit. Let me ask you this. So if Haney does accept the fight, you're going to complain and say he's going to get his ass beat. And then if the fight don't go down, you're going to say he ducks. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't want to watch the next Devin Haney fight right now unless it's with
So no matter what he does, you're gonna have something to complain
you're
about.
gonna allow me to finish. You asked me the question. I'm gonna let.
No matter what he does, you're gonna complain.
Let me answer because you're not gonna steer my answer. I'm not like these guys on TBV who let Nets control their answers. All right, so you're gonna have to chill. He needs a tune-up. I've been saying that from the beginning. He had a tune-up with Ramirez and he fucking failed. Now he needs to really rebuild himself up. I believe the kid is talented. But he needs to work on this PTSD. This shit is real. What we saw was in real time. Now I don't know if anybody gives a fuck about that, man. I'm not the biggest Haney fan at all, but I do know that that's not the way he fights, and he fought scared as shit. Now, do I want to wait?
I'll let you go, but you're still not answering my question. I'll let you go. You're still not answering. I asked you a yes or no question, and you're bringing all this extra shit into it.
There's two parts to that your question asked. Now, the second thing is, do I want to see a scared chicken shit Haney running around the fucking ring? No, I don't want this fight to happen. Just like I didn't want it to happen with Tio. Because it's a waste of my damn time on a Saturday night when one of the guys is somebody that I'm interested in. I want to see Norman Jr. fight somebody worthy. I want to see Tio fight somebody worthy. His name is not Devin Haney today.
I didn't ask for all the lettuce, the pickles, and the condiments. I asked you a yes or no answer.
Because you're not going to control.
Can you say yes or no? You could say yes or no and then explain your answer, but you didn't answer.
No, I answered it. Plain and simple.
No, you didn't. Is it yes or no? Are you going to complain about whatever he does or no?
If your IQ level is not articulate enough to understand what I just said, that's your damn problem.
No, they're dealing direct questions. Like I said, you can add the details. You can add all the details you want.
Understood it. I answered it. I don't want
you can put man either way. Did you? I didn't hear a yes or no come out of your mouth. So stop trying to play.
You heard it. You heard people say finish.
No.
I don't want to see the fight either way today. No.
That's not what I asked you. I said no matter what he does, are you going to complain yes or no? I didn't say you want to see the fight. Are you going to complain about whatever he does?
I don't want to see it. Is that a complaint to you?
No, I said if no matter what he does, are you going to complain?
With the problem.
You're trying to answer the question you want to answer and not my actual question.
I'm not going to soothe your fucking feelings. That's your problem.
You can't answer yes or no question. Just say it. Just say no, I'm not comfortable with it. The answer is yes, I'm going to complain no matter what, because I'm not anti this fighter.
You don't control me. I'm telling you.
I'm not controlling
either way.
Okay, so if I ask you a question that's controlling you, I just want my question answered directly.
Does that answer the question? I don't want to see
no. You're putting all kinds of extras on it like a female. No. Yes or no?
I do not want to see the fight either way today.
That's not my question, but you got it. Obviously, you're not going to answer.
It your way, bro. You acting
Point
like my
stated. No. Yeah, I want my answer question. I want my question answered. If that's having it my way, then yes.
Bro, chill, man. You're not going to get the answer you want. You're talking to a man.
It's not the answer I want. It's a direct question. If a math teacher asks you, is the answer 3 or 5, and you start talking calculus, that's not an answer, bitch.
I don't want to see the fight either way. You don't understand calculus, my man.
But to HLD's defense, that question is kind of like you're going to be complaining.
It's loaded. I said you can add all the details after you say yes or no. Then you can go on your diatribe. I'm not tripping about that, but you got to say yes or no because that's the question that was posed.
But I think he's answered the question. To be honest with you,
he basically said, "Yeah, he's gonna not like whatever Haney does."
Right?
Okay, yeah. I just wanted him to admit that he didn't want to be direct about it, but y'all got it. Yeah, he did.
Bro, is your education, bro? Is that your level, man? Like what the fuck?
Yo, I'm an electrical engineer. I did advanced calculus. I think I'm a little more educated and qualified than you on that. If you want to go that route, if you want to go that route, then no, come on.
I don't want you diagnosing anything from anything industrial. Is that what you are? Industrial engineer?
All right, let's move on.
That was fun.
See what you did, Johnny? It's Johnny's fault.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
I don't know. Somehow it's your fault, though.
Oh,
somehow.
Hey, listen.
HLD is like picking arguments apart when people want to obfuscate. I just like picking them apart when they want to misdirect.
You get where H is coming from. I mean, it takes balls for Haney coming off of that performance to move right up to 147 and face arguably the hardest hitting welterweight today. Right now.
I get that, but then again, if it doesn't happen, he's still going to be mad. So you can't satisfy him. That's the point I was trying to get to.
I'll be satisfied it doesn't happen. I'll be satisfied it doesn't happen, so I can watch the Norman Jr. fight somebody of worthy caliber. Yes.
With regards to Haney, you're going to complain about whatever move he makes.
Again,
That was the question.
You're acting like a female, man. You're trying to control.
You have comprehension skills.
I'm telling you what I'm saying directly out of my mouth,
Petty.
and you're trying to think like a female. What is he trying to say? Is he saying something else? That what he says? You trying to?
No,
Bro,
I just wanted a direct answer, and then you can go on. You could write a fucking. You could write a thesis paper about it after you answer the question. I don't give a fuck about the details.
There's no satisfying you, bro, at all.
Well, look, I think we understand he doesn't like Haney, so let's just leave
Exactly.
it.
That's all. I just want him to admit it.
I just said that I don't think he's worthy of this fight right now. Simple
I
as
just want
that.
him to drop his confessions like Usher. You got it. I made my point.
I mean,
Yeah, okay. You thought
Haney. I do think you have a point, HLD, in terms of Haney. I think should maybe take a little bit more of a tune-up-ish kind of fight.
And the fans should be okay with that. That's my problem. The fans should be okay with telling Bill, hey, yo, man, forget all this broken bullshit you're putting out here, trying to be the baddest man. Yo, fuck all that bullshit. Take care of your son.
But HL, in a sport like this, that's what these dudes have to do. They have to promote themselves because they don't get contracts like the NBA where they're set for 10 years. Every fight might be their last. So he's just trying to promote.
But I'm saying the fans should be okay with Devin Haney saying, you know what? I'm gonna take a couple of
Devin Haney fans, or
and the fans should be okay with that.
Devin Haney fans, or you know how they are.
Okay with that.
You know, just like Wilder fans were for a while. Like even after he lost, they just would know he's the best. No, he got cheated. People don't want to see the downfall of their favorite fighter sometimes.
HLD, we're not going to monopolize this. We're all going to share the panel. I actually agree with your point that he could. No. I actually agree. I'm trying to find a middle ground, homie. Just listen for 2 seconds instead of running your mouth. I agree. He should take a softer touch because he wasn't, impressive in the Ramirez fight. So I actually agree with that point. I just wanted, you know what I wanted, man. Just a yes or no, and then you can say whatever you want. But I agree with that point.
Bro, you can talk to your lady like that.
Okay, so no. If you on a channel talking boxing and someone asks you a question and you refuse to answer it directly, that's not me being a bitch. A bitch is the one. A bitch is the one that would dance around and add all kind of fucking extra unnecessary details.
Two men
unasked details.
Right, hold on.
But
Guys,
to me,
hold on. Who else was going to talk?
Let's get it straight though. That was a backhanded way to say it because you were talking to him. You said let's find some middle ground and say so if you just shut up, like you know what I mean. Like that was kind of crazy to say. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fair, but he has been monopolizing the panel, and I getting out in like 10-15 seconds. He wants to go on for 2 minutes, so I'm just trying to get a word in edgewise.
Marco and my boutique on top both understood what I said. Now these are guys who are on panels. They have their own channels. They understood it. Now you did it, my man. I'm sorry, bro. You need a refund on your.
It's not that I didn't understand. It just didn't address my question directly. That's all. All right, men dealing straight up facts, positive, negative.
Let's move on. Let's move on. See what Johnny always causes problems.
I didn't cause it. All I'm gonna say
no, it's not me. I'm not hypey every time I get on here. I try to keep it peaceful, especially nowadays. So it ain't me.
You know what we're gonna see if Brian Norman gets in the ring with Devin Haney, we're gonna see Big Bang Zhang Wilder 2. That's what we're gonna see.
That's right.
Like I said, I think he needs another fight in between. I agree. He needs another fight in between.
If Devin Haney wants to step in and get that smoke, let him get that smoke.
Oh, let him get it, but
let him
wasting my time on a Saturday night. I don't want to see that.
It ain't wasting my time. I do want to see destruction.
The link is there, David. It's there. It's pinned.
See, so like for me, I think Devin Haney's a great fighter. Like his style is really good in the past. When I seen him fight Lomachenko, I think he lost that fight, but it was a great fight. When he fought Jorge Linares, great fight. He has really great past fights. He just don't fight no more. He just doesn't fight. And I think the boxing business killed the boxing sport because we got Bill getting online talking about Devin will fight this guy, Devin will fight this guy, Devin will fight that guy. 1, the fight never happens. 2, if he does fight someone, he doesn't fight. He moves around the ring and he's jabbing. When the dude gets close, he's going to clinch. They're going to reset and he's going to do it again. And they do that for 12 rounds. And it's the boxing business killed the boxing sport. Now, I think it's a mentality issue. It's a mentality issue for him. Same with Shakur. But Shakur went and fought Padley. Even his hands suck. He still did what he needed to do. Devin doesn't do that.
Now, let me tell you guys something real quick. This guy talking is fucking 15 years old. Can you believe that?
Who is this?
No, not at all.
He's
Are
15. Are you
you
16 yet? You still 15?
I'm 16.
Yo, I thought that was
16 years
Mikhail.
old.
Hey,
I
that's
thought that was
Michael
Mikhail
Jordan,
talking.
bro.
Can you tell us who this is?
That's Michael Jordan.
My name is I'm Tyson.
His name is Tyson, but he goes by Hoopster.
Tyson, nice to meet you. Marco, you got to start introducing people that come up to us. Like, come on,
we all know him. You just don't.
I don't.
I haven't been on here for a minute because like I just been getting like I've been having fights and stuff. Like everything's been busy.
He's a boxer. He's a boxer too.
Okay,
everything the young man said, Tyson said was on point.
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
Agreed.
Devin Haney really only showed what he showed in that last fight. And he's at least taking consideration this kid's got mental problems. And when we say man, doesn't mean crazy and shit. He just has post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a fact. You cannot deny that. You know what I mean? Now, he has, like the young man said, he has great fights in there. They were entertaining. Hey, the Linares fight was the first time Haney had me on the edge of the seat until the 10th round ending, right? But until that point, it was like, okay, he's trying to hit him with everything he got. You know what I mean? He's trying to get this dude out of there. When he fought Regis Prograis, spectacular performance. When he fought Lomachenko. Now, he had some duds, yo. Those kind of both those fights were boring as shit. Plain and simple. Boring, huggy fest, whatever type of shit fight that was. But other than a couple of few fights, Haney has demonstrated that he can fight and he would want to bang with you guys. You know what I mean? With the other fighters. Except that he has an issue right now. And that has to be settled. He was given a lamb to be slaughtered. And he ran from the lamb. So what can we say?
I can't take it that far. You know, I'm not going to diagnose someone with a mental disorder. I see what you're saying, that his confidence maybe needs some work. I'm not going to go as far as PTSD. But again, we're basing all this off of one fight. He's had one fight since the Austrian shit. I'm not going to be getting to that. So we need a bigger sample size is what I'm saying. We need more fights to see.
I agree.
Where he's at. Let me land with this. In my opinion, he was just doing everything possible to maintain his side of the Ryan rematch. So he was just being super cautious. I'm gonna do my job. He can't help that Ryan got beat, but yeah, confidence. Yeah, PTSD. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's either that or PTSD. One of the two. Either he was trying to just fuck it. I got to have this Ryan rematch, so I'm taking no chances, or he was horrified to get hit because he got dropped. 4 or 5 times the last fight.
Well, Bill Haney in the corner and that fight was telling his son to settle down, and he couldn't settle down, bro. It's as simple as that. Bill Haney in the corner told his son to settle down. The kid was not fighting with confidence. He was fighting, to get to that next bag without getting knocked the fuck out or thinking that he might get knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? And that's true. If anybody's been in a car accident, Jesus Christ, anybody been in a fucking nasty car accident and then you have to get back on the road and you're like, you're looking at all your mirrors, you're looking behind you. It takes time to get settled. We're human beings. This kid took a punishment like nobody's business versus Ryan Garcia. I mean, like, can we accept that? Damn.
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a combination of both. That's all good takes. I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
And that's what I was about to say. It don't always got to be like extreme left or right. You know what I'm saying? You don't always got to be, for one opinion. So I think, like what Johnny said, they all good opinions.
Yeah, they're all good opinions. At the end of the day, though, but my thing is, I do give him credit if he ends up taking this fight because I agree with both of you guys. I don't think he should be stepping up to 147 to take this fight, but if he wants it, we will oblige. You got to remember, look at it from a Norman's perspective. This is, they lack a star name on their resume. This will give them
at the bit. They're chomping at the bit.
Absolutely, baby. And so let's just make it happen. And like I said, I'm telling you guys, just be patient.
You heard what Bill Haney told when he called what's his name? Ty. My God, he hangs out with Wilder. What's his name?
Wow.
Tay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard it, and you heard. We can't pretend. Bill Haney called him. Yo, we don't want this shit. You're gonna mess up our brand. Oh, that's Cap, right? But then Tay came on and he stand down, and that's what Bill told me. So they don't want this fight. I'm not a fool to believe anything from the Haneys, bro. It's all clout chasing at its best. He's just trying to keep his name, and good. He's trying to keep his name, relevant. But does he really want the smoke?
I'll tell you guys. I had the champ on the other night, and they've agreed to all the terms
verbally.
I think he just cut out.
We froze.
Oh yeah, did he freeze?
And again, maybe they agreed, but
they
who knows if the other
verbally,
side agrees.
But even today, Norman Jr., somebody else, did you sign it? He's like, bro, there is no contract to sign.
Yeah.
That was today. So,
man, HOD, you can't even accept that Ryan cheated. So how can we really listen to your opinion?
I don't give a shit whether you think
And
he
second
cheated
of
or
all,
not.
look, second of all, everybody's so desperate to see Norman in there fighting Devin because y'all want Devin to lose, but nobody called Tio a duck for ducking Devin when they put pressure on him and he ain't want the smoke. Nobody care about that no more. They just want to, get in there with Norman. You want them to make sure they make that happen, but y'all didn't want to make sure Tio get in there and fight Devin. Y'all make excuses for him.
Fine about, bro. There were panels for like 3 weeks straight, including the TBV on that.
You ain't called him a duck. You didn't call him a duck.
Absolutely.
You called Tio a duck?
No, because I know the business side of it.
He said absolutely. He said no.
Now you know the business side of it. Come on, man. So why did the business side with Norman?
No, the difference is Norman's gonna be making maybe $2 million compared to the $11 million that Tio's promised to make. Big damn difference.
Listen, Tio, he was getting the same amount of money he was getting to fight Devin. Yes, he was. That's
he wasn't, bro. You don't know. Trust me.
You don't know. You look.
I do know.
How do you know?
I do know. They cut his pay all the way down to $5.5 million from the 11 that he was gonna make, and then they came back and then they came back to the table, and they tried to offer him 8.
I never heard 5.5.
You don't have to hear anything because you don't know
11.
shit.
Everybody heard 11. You didn't want to know 5.5. Stop lying.
Bro, they cut his pay in half by 5.5. They came back to the table, offered him 8.
It's not one article saying that. It ain't one article saying
man. This comes from the horse's mouth.
Has anybody else heard that?
Negative.
Exactly. Nobody heard. You making that up, bro.
No, you making
it real.
When you get back into a corner, just make up shit. That's cool.
Yeah, you talking about 5.5 and 8 million. Come on.
It was 5.5, $8 million on the second offer, and possibly $1 million bonus if he wins the fight.
It was only one offer, 11 million. That's it.
No, it wasn't. Tio fucked up when Bazonker's calling him a dictator, which was totally wrong.
Like I said, when
he apologized, he lost from Riyadh season, came back. All right, so this is because he does have a contract. The contract was 3-fight deal, and they're trying to renege it because Devin Haney is not worth that money to make a fight with. That's why they're chopping down his contract because Devin Haney's not worth the contract as it stands.
I thought Tio reason he didn't want to go and fight in there because he'd have to knock him out because they Muslims, not the money. I thought that was the reason.
Because he felt what he did was fucked up.
How was it have to look? Those are multiple excuses as to why the fight
and they're all on the table.
He a duck.
See what sticks. Throw this shit at the wall. See what sticks.
I really don't care. I'm happy the fight didn't happen. Like I said before, I didn't want to see it happen.
But why
didn't want to see that shit happen.
Why didn't you want to see it happen?
Because I don't want to see a chicken shit running around. I don't want to see that shit again.
So why do you want
$90 watching two motherfuckers run around the ring? No, it was 110 with taxes and all. I ain't gonna spend another fucking Saturday night spending money on pieces of shit fight like that. You probably stole the fight, which is why you don't give a fuck.
Hey, real quick.
Look,
can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Yan. Go ahead.
I kind of agree with Bailey. How do y'all know about all these contract negotiations like y'all in the room with them? Like, that's the only thing I don't be getting. 11
million was the public statement. That's what everybody heard. So 5.5 and 8 million is he made that up. Nobody.
No, but it's true. Like, unless you're in the room, like the shit comes out. And I'm not saying you guys are lying. I just saying, like, when you go with the rumor mill, nobody knows.
Speculation at this point. Like, we don't know.
I wanted to ask you, why do you want to see Norman and Devin in if you don't want to see running around?
I don't want to see Norman and Devin. If you've been on the panel, you would have heard me. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any fight with Devin Haney with any real top-notch fighter right now at all.
Yeah. No, you had it right at first. You don't want to see any fight with Devin Haney, period.
Exactly. Because Tio ran around too.
Hey, whatever makes your ass feel better, bro.
That's what you said.
In his defense, that's not what he meant because he did say earlier. He did say earlier he wants Devin to get a tune-up so he can get his style back. But at the same time, at least for me, with this Brian Norman Jr. and the Devin Haney situation in general, when it comes to the Brian Norman Jr. fight, I think Brian Norman Jr. is too big. And then how we seen Brian Norman Jr. just knock out, I don't know the Japanese dude's name, with that left hook. I don't think that's a good thing to come into for Devin Haney. It's just not at this current time.
So that's why I was saying the Tio fight, but people don't want Devin to come back. They don't want to see him. They didn't want to see the Ryan rematch on an even playing field. Y'all didn't want the fight. Y'all happy Ryan lost. Y'all happy Ryan denied the fight in the first place. Y'all happy about that. You don't want to see Devin get his get back. You don't want to see Devin beat Tio after all he been running his mouth. He been ducking Devin for years, bro.
And I agree.
I wanted to see Devin and Ryan too.
I did, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people just, Ryan beat him. We don't want to see a rematch. Devin trash, this and that. He got knocked out. He didn't even get knocked out.
There had to be a rematch because of all these storylines, and I still think eventually there will be a rematch. It just won't be next.
I think that's what's gonna happen, guys. They're gonna weigh this all out, and the next thing we're gonna hear that Ryan Garcia's hand is better, and they'll make that fight. That's what's gonna happen. It's
telling you, be patient.
I don't know, man. He had some serious surgical, scars. That takes time.
And Oscar said, I don't want to put any of my fighters in there with Devin. They've been running from this fight, bro. It's plain and simple to see.
But I say this again, and no hate to Devin, he's a great fighter. I believe they're running from the business part, which is the Haney's. The Haney's as a business is not really good for you as a fighter. Now, when it comes to Tio, is he ducking Devin? They've been in the ring with each other. Is there something? I don't know. That's all speculation. I can't say anything to that. But the business side of it is they're not very profitable. They're not a profitable thing for other stars. Because when
how are they not profitable?
Because when you come into a fight and you see yourself as a bigger star, when you see yourself as a bigger star than them, and you have to split a percentage with them, and you're a bigger star, you're making less money.
Well, listen, everybody who
less money because of how you see yourself. Now, I can't say that, he's better than him, but if Tio sees himself as a more valuable fighter, he's not going to want to fight Devin because Devin is a less valuable fighter than him.
Tio never made $1 million, first of all.
He
said that himself.
His last fight, he probably did. He must have his last fight.
He definitely Devin, everybody who fought Devin made their highest payday. How aren't they getting paid, bro? They made the most money fighting against Devin. So how can you say that? That's not true.
That's not true. Loma's made more money before.
No, he didn't. His highest payday was against Devin.
His minimum has always been $3.5 million, bro.
Listen, people made their highest payday against Devin, bro. That's not
you believe that Haney juice, bro.
My brother,
hey Tyson,
you took what I said. You took what I said wrong. I didn't say that they made less money. I said that he would see it as him making less money because he sees his value higher. I'm just saying that. So he doesn't want to. That's just how it seems.
The actual numbers speak for themselves, though. People made the most fighting against Devin. So how can you say, I don't want to fight? And Tio was making a career high payday against Devin. Come on now. He didn't want it.
The thing with the paydays, too, guys, it's never official. It's always speculation. It's always a range between 3 and 8. We don't even know that for sure. And then there's back-end deals. You don't know what they end up making. That shit is all speculation.
Exactly. Can we get back to X's and O's instead of talking about who's going to get paid what or who didn't get paid this?
Yeah, those are excuses for fights not to happen. That's what
I want to ask this young man a quick question, kind of out of has nothing to. Hey Tyson, you're a sophomore right now, a junior?
I'm about to be a junior.
You're about to be a junior, man. What's your area of studies that you're focused on?
So for me, like when I'm about to go, I want to go to college for mechanical engineering.
Okay.
And it's my junior year, but it's really my senior year because I'm graduating early. So after this, I'm gonna go. Like I just plan to keep fighting. I want to keep going nationals, keep doing my thing. I want to spread my name out. 2028, I'll be 19. I want to go to the Olympics and just keep going. That's my plan.
Hey, you box?
Out of what state? Out of what state? You don't have to be specific, but out of what state we're talking about your?
It's funny. The Wilder fight is in my hometown. I'm from Wichita, Kansas.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Young man, don't get corrupted with us old heads up here talking a lot of shit, bro. You don't want to be speaking like we do. We're tired, so we don't give a fuck how we talk. But the way you're very eloquent in your speech pattern, and keep that where it's at. We up here, bro. We're a bunch of old heads, so we don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But and where you're at right now, you got to keep on the way you're doing. It's gonna open a lot of doors, bro.
Now,
A lot of doors.
He's a smart
Yes.
kid for sure.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Listen, guys, I gotta wrap this up. You guys want to have any final comments? We'll
Looking
be back
forward to the
tonight.
fights tonight. I know that much. And tomorrow.
Okay.
Hey, did anybody? I know that he missed weight, but did he have to lose a 0.4 pounds or no?
Yeah, I think he made weight in the second attempt as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good deal. Hey, man, thank you for having me on. As always, Marco. Everybody else, man, God bless. Stay Boricua. Y si tú eres Boricua, man.
Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Peace out.